your camera might be problematic, Alex.
Not working.
Seems to not be working. It still says starting the live video. There's a couple people on, so I better kick this off though.
I was going to say, if not, just ditch Instagram.
Sorry for the delay, guys. Just having some technical difficulties. Yeah. One more time. Do you want to have a look?
Yeah.
So I'm live.
Oh. Hello, world. Okay.
But yeah.
Start talking.
Yeah, it's 11:30 silence. Hey guys, welcome to another live video. I'm Jared from Unjex. If you haven't seen me before, just wanted to start by letting you know today it's going to be a little bit different format. I'm just going to do a recap of the stuff we've been talking about for the last few weeks, especially in relation to the Q&As we've had, questions we've been asked. We're still getting asked the same questions a fair bit, so if you guys could hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss a video in the future. That way we can do videos about different things sort of every week. That's what we really want to do. I hope you've joined the page, just the Demodex Mite support group. But yeah, definitely subscribe, like us here, and that way you won't miss any of the info we're throwing out there. So just to do a quick sort of intro to what I'll be talking about today, I'm going to be talking about tea tree oil, something we do a lot, and the effect it has on human skin just in relation to attempting to treat Demodex mites with it. So I'm going to talk about other moisturizers as well, the ones that we recommend and the ones that others are using. I'm going to talk about our recommended moisturizers. So I'm going to talk about extra virgin cold pressed organic coconut oil and castor oil as well, because that's come up quite a bit recently. I'm also going to talk about some home remedies that people have sort of thrown past me lately, and some other ones that we're always advising against as well, just the really common ones, some misconceptions, and just some things people have done, some things that people have done that might have had a little bit of success, but I'll go back into that later. I'm also going to go into brevis and phallocorum mites, the two that survive on humans, just in relation to how many questions we've had about dogs. I also want to talk a little bit about some of the questions that have been on the support groups. So someone's asked if the condition was permanent, and some other people have been talking about giant mites or larger mites or Demodex mites that are visible to the human eye. So I'm going to go into that today as well. So first, I'll just sort of kick off by letting people know that just in relation to using or attempting to use tea tree oil as a complete solution to Demodex infestations, there's a lot of reasons why that's ineffective, why it won't work. Although we do include tea tree oil in the product, so in the Unjex protocol, in the Unjex product itself, there is tea tree oil in the product. But the reason it's not effective, we know that it can help to kill some. However, when applied to the skin, there's a few reasons why it's ineffective. The first one is because Demodex mites are predominantly a subdermal parasitic entity. So it's an organism that will live mainly underneath the skin. So on the model here that I've got, there's a picture of the sebaceous gland, which is the oil glands in humans. So the brevis mites are the ones that will live and stay down in your sebaceous glands, and then you've got the phallocorum mites, and they're the ones that live underneath the hair follicle. So predominantly most of the time, these mites are actually underneath the skin or underneath the hair follicle. So applying a treatment just to the top of the skin, it's ineffective, for the reason that only a few of the mites are going to be present on the skin, even if you do it when the UV rays aren't present. Most of the time, when they're present is at nighttime. Sometimes they'll come to the skin during the day. So any treatment that's been applied would be applied at nighttime. But being tea tree oil, it's not going to penetrate the skin. And then there's also adverse effects it has on the skin. Look, I've seen some photos of some people who've tried this home remedy and they end up looking like a sultana or a prune, because it's really actually quite hazardous and damaging to the skin. And the other thing is when they apply it to the hair, for the phallocorum mites that are on the scalp or in those areas, then take it from me, guys. It doesn't look good and it does damage and pretty much destroy hair. So it's going to have the complete opposite effect that you'd want it to have, especially in relation to that. So I think that covers that fairly well. I suppose the other thing about the Unjex protocol is used in conjunction with the products. We have a HFI, so a high frequency instrument. Now, if you were to use that in relation to a tea tree oil, that'd be really damaging for the skin to sort of get that underneath in the sebaceous gland and underneath the hair follicle. It's definitely not something that I'd advise. I've seen the damage it does to the surface, and I don't think anyone at home would want that underneath the skin. The other thing is people with extreme symptoms like lesions, open wounds, cuts, when they're having the stings and the bites from the mites themselves, then applying just the tea tree oil by itself is going to be really harsh and really painful as well. So there's some people that have done it to dogs. The dogs aren't happy about it. They tend to get really nasty. And that's sort of in relation to the questions that we've had about pets coming in this week as well. So other moisturizers, I'll move on to that now. Other moisturizers that people are using, to be completely honest, there's only two that we advise. So the least damaging, if you're going to use another product, the least damaging that you can do to the protocol and to yourself in relation to feeding the mites, is to use one that's based around a coconut oil. So what we actually advise with the protocol itself, and something that fits in, that does work, that will actually help. So you'll have something like tea tree oil that will be really damaging to the skin, causes it to wrinkle, discoloration, things like that, adverse effects. If you're using like an extra virgin cold pressed organic coconut oil, that's going to have the opposite of those effects. Likewise with the other one that we recommend. So there is two that we recommend, and you can use it in conjunction with the Unjex protocol to get that moisture back into the skin. So the first one's the organic cold pressed coconut oil, and it has to be extra virgin as well. It's what we recommend highly for it to fit into the protocol. And the other one that we have is the castor oil. So castor oil is fantastic for a lot of reasons, and I did want to spend a little bit of time just talking about that today and the other health benefits that castor oil can have, and sort of what it looks like, what it feels like, just the best way to sort of use it at home as well. So castor oil, if you're using it already, you'll know that it's a pale yellow liquid. It's extracted from castor seeds, so it's something that has been used for a long period of time. So it's been used for centuries for its therapeutic and medical benefits. It's believed that most of castor oil's benefits are derived from its high concentration of unsaturated fatty acids. So these fatty acids that we're talking about are the opposite to what's contained in the sebum, in the oils and the fats that sit on the skin of humans that allow Demodex and phallocorum mites to feed off us, that makes us like a good host for them. So it's something that they can't eat, they can't feed off it, and that's fantastic in that it gives your skin back the moisture. And we know that killing the Demodex mites, reducing their populations, we're not going to have the opposite effect of that in relation to the castor oil. So although it has a strong, rather unpleasant taste, that's fine because we're not eating it. Castor oil is used in cosmetics, soaps, textiles, and medicines. It's used in massage oils and many other everyday products as well. So I'll talk about what some say are the positive effects and the things that castor oil can be effective and helpful in treating. So it's been used both internally and externally for thousands of years due to its many wonderful health benefits. So since it can strengthen the immune system, castor oil is something that's fantastic in the fight against Demodex mites, because we know that in relation to having a lowered immune system, when the population densities increase, this is something that's going to help with that as well. So it's considered a great remedy to treat the following major illnesses and ailments as well. This is something, don't quote me on it, guys, but this is something that's been sort of industry-wise, kicked around the office, I guess you'd say. So it's used to treat like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, hair loss, and pain from arthritis as well. So it's something that definitely works in conjunction in relation to the hair loss with the Unjex protocol and the Unjex products really, really well. So what we really say about it is, and what we know, what we can say factually about it, is that it does help to give the skin moisture. So used as a moisturizer, we know factually it's very effective. So if it's got any of those other health benefits as well, then that's fantastic for you guys at home. So other things that it's rumored to sort of help, so yeast infection, when ingested, constipation, gastrointestinal problems and pains as well, menstrual disorders, migraines, acne, sunburn, athlete's foot, ringworm, skin abrasions and inflammation. I did say ringworm, so yeah, there's rumors that it does help to treat another type of parasite as well, but that's internally, and that's something I spoke about in last week's video as well. So don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe button, so you guys don't miss any of the information that we chuck out there for you. So it's not just my videos, there's other Demodex consultants in the office that are doing the live videos twice a week as well, guys. So I'll just talk about some of the other rumored benefits of the castor oil. So used for its anti-inflammatory properties, castor oil does make an excellent massage oil for relieving arthritic joints. Now we know factually it does make a good massage oil because it's a great moisturizer. Whether it relieves arthritic joints or stuff, that's up to you guys to sort of decide for yourself. So yeah, like I said, just with any information I throw out, if it's not factual, I'll sort of mention, don't quote me on it. But we have to check out stuff from other sources that other people back up. So there's testimonies and stuff like that we can produce. So the other thing, guys, don't forget, if you've got any questions, if I miss anything, if there's anything you want to know about a particular topic or subject matter that we touch on, just chuck it in the comments. We'll try and get to you as quickly as we can. And if we can't, next week we'll do our best to as well. So I'll just go back down into in relation to the skin problems the castor oil being used for. There's been actually some successful studies that have approved the use of castor oil for skin infections and other skin problems such as sunburn, abrasions, acne, dry skin, boils, warts, stretch marks, liver spots as well, athlete's foot, and chronic itching and inflamed skin. So just especially in relation to the itching, the dry skin and the acne, that's especially useful for you guys at home that are going through the Unjex protocol and using the products to treat that, just in relation to the Demodex mite. So we know that we can have these products assisting that, not breaking the protocol, but really helping us out. So we'd say that the best way to apply it as well is to use a cotton tip for smaller areas, or a cotton ball for those guys in Australia. So for those US, we call it a Q-tip for you guys there. So cotton balls in Australia, or cotton tips, and in the States, Q-tip. So you can use that to apply it onto the affected skin area. Obviously, the larger areas you want to use cotton ball on, but for much larger areas, you can just soak an appropriate large piece of unbleached cotton cloth in castor oil, wrap it around the affected area overnight. We found that can be really effective as well. So if the area is really small, you can soak a Band-Aid in it too if you want to leave it overnight. But what I found to be the best is to use a Q-tip or a cotton bud. So for stubborn fungal infections that affect skin or nails, it's recommended to soak the affected area in Epsom salts as well. So that's something we know that can sort of be triggered by other things, not so much in relation to the Demodex mites. So Phallocorum or brevis. So another treatment with castor oil, we know that people can treat styes, so infections in the eye. Castor oil is really effective at treating that as well. And I'll just sort of go into the other stuff they say. So castor oil, just in moderation. Of course, use everything in moderation. 100% oxygen will kill us, and drinking 8 liters of water will kill us. So, of course, just be careful in relation to any ingredients that anyone advises for use. But what they say about castor oil is that it's normally safe for use with moderation, and in relation to pregnant women and lactating women, even people with intestinal blockages. That's especially important in relation to people that are being treated for internal and external mites at the same time. I've been asked a few questions about that recently as well, and that's something I really want to get to in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do a live video about the benefits of internal and external sort of treatments at the same time in relation to anyone who's got both sorts of parasites. So there's a million different ways you can find and buy castor oil. Most health food shops have it. So it's really, really easy to find. It's really easy to get, something that's easy to obtain, and it's used worldwide in the health nutrition industries. So I think that's about it. That'll do for talking about oils. I might go into a little bit more detail about the cold-pressed organic coconut oil in relation to the extra virgin one next week as well, or in my next live video. So that's something we're definitely going to talk about. If anyone wants to know more, if there's any specific questions, please hit us up in the comments, and yeah, we'll do our very best to get to those questions as soon as we possibly can. So there's one thing in particular that I'd heard of this week that was definitely not advised. So there was a case of Demodex mange, and someone was asking a treatment involving Listerine and a series of dipping or wiping, and the dog actually had open wounds, so there was lesions, and yeah, just something I'd say definitely not advised in relation to. It's unproven that it would even affect Demodex mites, mange, Phylocorum brevis. So unproven that it'd be effective in treating any of them, as well as the amount of pain that the poor animal would be in. So yeah, please guys, just be careful what you see and what you read on the internet. Just, you can always throw questions by us. Yeah, we definitely will help out with things like that as quickly as we can if you guys ask us those sorts of questions. So thanks for that one. Definitely just wanted to take the first opportunity to let you guys know, yeah, if there's anyone sort of thinking about doing that, we definitely advise against it, so quite strongly. So other home remedies as well, if they're home remedies and they're unproven, we do advise against them. Basically, anything that doesn't have a proven protocol, anything that's not going to get subdermally, anything that's not really going to attack the mites where they live, or has an effective protocol in regards to how long they can survive cross-contamination. We want to have all bases covered when dealing with Demodex mites, especially for you guys at home that are going through the protocol and you know, spending the time and energy and financially as well. We're always here, so there's 24/7. The 24/7 team's always online, ready to help you guys. If there's questions that can't be answered, it'll come through head office, and then we'll get back to you guys as soon as we possibly can. So yeah, just going into the difference between the mites, it's something that always comes up, and it's something I don't mind talking about. It's probably a good thing for every video to have something a little bit about the difference between brevis and Phylocorum mites, or the difference between mange and Demodex mites in humans. So mange exists on dogs. It's something where the mites, if they transfer over to humans, even though they can transfer over and stay on the skin for a small amount of time, it's something within 24 hours or so, those mites will be dead. So I know I said this last week as well, so sorry for anyone that tuned in. I'm sort of repeating myself, but it does get asked a lot. So just in relation to the mites that are on the humans, they're actually quite a lot hardier, quite a lot tougher, in relation to the fact that they can hop off a human, be in the follicles of a towel, encapsulated in their own oil, or the oil that they took from the host. So off a human, they can survive there for up to 52 hours. So the best thing to remember, if you're doing laundry and you're worried about cross-contamination, or worried about them crossing over to your partner, pajamas are great. Use that in conjunction with the PDT, so we know that kills them. When we do our microscopic testing here in Melbourne, we look at them under a slide and we introduce PDT to them. We know that they can't survive, so it does kill them. Basically, what I'm saying with that is, if you're still worried about cross-contamination and you're doing the pajamas and you're doing your linen every day, make sure it's in the sun for at least 12 hours. But if those sheets don't go back onto the bed for 52 hours, you know that then those mites aren't surviving anymore. They are dead. It doesn't matter. Even if you didn't use the PDT on them, they're not going to survive for that amount of time off the host. So, and the final question that's sort of come in that I really, really was looking forward to answering as well, just for everyone at home and anyone tuning in. Is this condition permanent, just in relation to human Demodex mite? So that's Phallocorum and brevis. This isn't in relation to mange or any of the other ones. Is the condition permanent? The answer is absolutely not. So it is completely treatable. We know that they can't survive the Unjex protocol, so we guarantee that we'll help you guys kill those mites at home. So populations can't survive the protocol. They can't survive the PDT when it's being introduced. And just in relation to everything that we throw together in a way that we know actually kills the mites, yes, the answer is that the condition isn't permanent. We know that it's completely treatable, and we know that the Unjex protocol can do that along with the product. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to us so you don't miss any info. Any other questions, just chuck them in the comment section and we'll get back to them as quickly as we possibly can. So thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.